Yes, ma'am.
A lot of us see and we get defeated. Sorry. Oh, I'm Kelly Pratt from Del Rio, Texas. A lot of us see what's going on in Washington, D.C., and we see the one-sidedness where they have rules for us and not for them, and nothing happens with the Republican Party. Nothing gets done. We can't get on the same page like the Democrats do. I mean, when they do something, it's they are all in it to win it. What are you going to do to bring the party together so we can get things done and clean up the mess and the corruption that's happening in DC?
Thank you for that. Appreciate it. But I think you're right about how D.C. looks out for itself. Here's an interesting fact. 7 of the 10 wealthiest counties in this country are suburbs of Washington, D.C. Now, how does that happen? Are they producing energy or any of that? I mean, they're producing a lot of hot air from the nonsense they spew. They're producing a lot of debt for the rest of us. But if you look at something and how the federal government manages its finances, borrowing, printing, spending trillions and trillions of dollars, particularly over the last 4 or 5 years at levels nobody thought possible, that's been bad for everybody in this room because you're paying way more for groceries, you're paying way more for necessities, and the inflation's really an invisible tax that hits you in the pocketbook every day. Now, it doesn't hit them as much. A lot of that has been beneficial to people that are politically connected or that are in Washington, D.C. And that's been true with Republicans and Democrats as well in D.C. I mean, it's not been only one party. And so we clearly can't just do business as usual. And I've said the country is in decline right now. I am not running because, like some Republicans, we just want to manage the decline a little bit better than the Democrats. No, I'm running to reverse the decline. I'm running to upend what's going on in Washington. And I can tell you, I have a track record of doing this in Florida. I came into office, Chip mentioned we won this historic landslide reelection. My state was a 1-point state when I got elected in 2018 the first time. We got elected with 32,000 votes. It wasn't 1.5 million the first time. So I came in. I didn't have supermajorities in the legislature. I came in. I had to set the vision. I had to mobilize support behind that vision, and I had to deliver results. And so we were able to do that. And lo and behold, we attracted more people to our cause and ended up shattering all these records in 2022. So I think it's at the end of the day about leadership. I think people are going to be attracted to a very clear vision. And we governed in Florida with bold colors, not with pale pastels. Everybody knew where we stood. And, even people didn't like what we did, said, governor says what he means and means what he says. Another thing I think about me that people will say, even people that, have opposed us, is if he tells you he's going to do something, he is going to do it. He doesn't just say there's not hollow promises. If I can't promise you something, I just won't do it. But if it's something that I believe in and I believe that I can get it done, and I tell you that, you can set your clock. We are going to act. And so on all this stuff, we are going to act. But I think it's just about leadership. I think it's about understanding that, you need to build as big a coalition as possible. And, look, I'm proud in my election. I had people vote for me who had voted for like Bernie Sanders in the past. Why? Because I did something to better their lives. Like when they were trying to force everyone to take vaxes, the COVID vaxes, we called a special session of the legislature and said, you do not have to choose between a shot you don't want and a job that you need. And we protected people's jobs because they didn't want to have to be faced with that choice. So I think we've shown an ability to have a really good agenda that appeals to a broad range of people. And when people see that, I think they get excited, and I think that they're going to want to get on board. So we'll be able to get it done. But, one of the things I did in Florida, I helped other candidates. It wasn't just about me. I helped the legislative candidates. We now have supermajorities. We did not have that when I started. I've helped school board candidates. We elected 29 new conservative school board candidates throughout Florida. Because if you think about what they're doing now, they're trying to impose indoctrination and ideology in the schools. Who here would think that even 5 years ago, it would have been appropriate to have like transgender ideology in a first grade classroom, telling a girl that she may really be a boy or that she should change her gender? Totally unacceptable. So yeah, in Florida, we led to protect parents and kids from that, but you need the school board people on the front line. So we did that as well. And I think it's the same thing federally. You know, I'm going to be working to help members of Congress. I'm going to be working to help people get elected to the Senate because, you know, it's a team effort. At the end of the day, politics is a team effort. Yeah, there's a lot you can do through executive action. Some of this stuff we can do purely through executive action, and we will, but ultimately you need that strong support, and so we will provide that, you know, and if we do it half as good as we did in Florida, this country's going to be in great shape, I'll tell you that. Who else we got?